Chapter 8. The Girl and the White Wolf. The village was in chaos. Smoke covered the sky. The smell of burning wood filled the air. Warriors fought desperately against monsters pouring out of the nearby forest. Kael tightened his grip on his sword. This isn't normal. The mysterious man standing behind him nodded. It isn't. Monster attacks of this scale never happen without a reason. Before Kael could ask another question, a desperate scream echoed from the eastern side of the village. Help! Kael immediately dashed toward the voice. When he arrived, he saw 3 ironhorn wolves surrounding a young woman. She held a broken spear in her trembling hands. Behind her were 2 frightened children. One of the wolves lunged forward. Slash! Kael's sword flashed through the air. The wolf crashed into the ground before it even realized what had happened. The remaining 2 beasts growled. Kael calmly stepped in front of the woman. Take the children and run. But I said run. His calm voice carried absolute confidence. The woman quickly grabbed the children and fled. The wolves immediately attacked together, one from the left, one from the right. Kael smiled faintly. So you actually know teamwork. He lowered his stance at the last moment. He moved. Swish, the first wolf missed. Kael spun around. Slash, the second wolf collapsed. The first beast turned around in panic. It tried to escape. Kael sighed. If you attack innocent people, you don't get to run away. One precise strike. The final wolf fell. The villagers stared in disbelief. Wasn't he the boy who failed the aura awakening? How is he this strong? No, didn't even use normal aura. Whispers spread through the crowd. Kael ignored them. His attention was caught by something else. A strange howl echoed from deep inside the forest. It wasn't angry. It sounded painful. Ow. Kael frowned. Did you hear that? The mysterious man nodded. I did. It isn't a monster hunting. It's asking for help. Kael immediately turned toward the forest. I'm going. The mysterious man didn't stop him. Instead, he quietly smiled. So your heart chose compassion again. Deep inside Etherian forest, the trees became taller. The sunlight barely reached the ground. The strange howl grew louder. After several minutes, Kael reached a small clearing. His footsteps suddenly stopped. Before him lay a beautiful white wolf. Its silver-white fur was stained with blood. Several black chains made of strange energy wrapped around its body. The wolf struggled to breathe. Its bright blue eyes looked at Kael, not with hatred, but with exhaustion and hope. Kael slowly approached. Easy. I'm not your enemy. The wolf growled weakly. It tried to stand, but immediately collapsed again. Kael carefully examined the chains. They're not ordinary. The mysterious man finally arrived. The moment he saw the chains, his expression changed. Impossible. Kael looked back. What? The old man spoke in a low voice. These are dimensional sealing chains. They should not exist in Etherian realm. Kael looked at the injured wolf again. Who would do this? The old man remained silent because he already knew the answer. Someone had crossed the boundaries of this dimension. Kael knelt beside the wolf. I don't know who you are. I won't leave you here. Wolf looked into his eyes for the first time. Its guard slowly disappeared. Kael reached out his hand. The moment his fingers touched the black chains, boom, the dark black aura erupted on its own. The chains trembled violently. Cracks spread across their surface. The mysterious man's eyes widened. Origin aura. It can destroy dimensional seals with one final burst. Crack, every chain shattered into pieces. The pressure surrounding the wolf disappeared instantly. The white wolf took a deep breath. Its wounds began healing at an incredible speed. It slowly stood up for a few seconds. It simply stared at Kael. Then, to Kael's surprise, the proud wolf lowered its head. As if thanking him, Kael smiled. Guess we're friends now. The wolf walked closer, then gently rubbed its head against Kael's shoulder. The mysterious man quietly watched the scene. So, the moon wolf has finally found him. Above the clouds, a pair of ancient eyes slowly opened. They've met. A deep voice echoed through the heavens. Wheel of Destiny has begun to turn. Chapter 9. The moon wolf's promise. The white wolf stood silently before Kael. Its silver fur shimmered under the moonlight, and its bright blue eyes never left him for a few moments. Neither of them moved. Kael smiled awkwardly. So, I guess this means you're not going to bite me. Wolf tilted its head then. It gently nudged Kael's shoulder with its nose. Kael laughed. Take that as a no. Mysterious man watched from behind, saying nothing. Kael carefully looked over the wolf's injuries. Although the dimensional sealing chains had been destroyed, several deep wounds still remained. Lost a lot of blood. Wolf let out a soft growl. Stay here. Kael searched the surrounding forest. After a few minutes, he returned carrying several medicinal herbs. The mysterious man raised an eyebrow. You know herbal medicine? Kael shrugged. When you grow up poor, you learn how to survive. My grandmother from the village taught me which herbs heal wounds. He crushed the leaves between two stones and carefully applied them to the wolf's injuries. The wolf flinched slightly. No, it stings. It'll help. The first time, the proud beast closed its eyes and allowed someone else to take care of it. After finishing the treatment, Kael sat against a tree. His stomach growled loudly. I'm hungry. The wolf slowly opened one eye. Kael scratched the back of his head. Don't look at me like that. Been fighting monsters all day. I forgot to eat. Mysterious man couldn't help but chuckle. So the future of the dimensions. Complaining about being hungry. Kael looked offended. Being hungry is a serious problem. The old man laughed softly. Even the white wolf seemed to lower its head as if hiding amusement for the first time that day. The heavy atmosphere disappeared later that night. Kael roasted a few fish he had caught from the nearby river. The smell quickly spread through the clearing. The white wolf quietly watched him. Kael noticed. Hungry, the wolf looked away proudly. So that's a yes. Kael tossed one roasted fish toward it. The wolf caught it effortlessly. It hesitated for a second, then began eating. Kael smiled. I knew it. The mysterious man looked at the two, a human and an ancient moon wolf. Fate truly works in strange ways. After dinner, the forest became peaceful. Kael looked at the stars above. Beautiful. The mysterious man sat nearby. Do you know what lies beyond them? Kael shook his head. No. One day, find out. Old man smiled. That curiosity. It will take you farther than talent ever could. Suddenly, the white wolf stood up. Its ears twitched. Its expression turned serious. What is it? Kael immediately grabbed his sword. The wolf stared toward the deeper part of the forest. Then it growled, a low, threatening growl. The mysterious man's face darkened. They found her. Before Kael could ask, several black arrows shot out from the darkness. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Kael reacted instantly. Clang. Clang, clang, he deflected 2 arrows. The third grazed his shoulder. Blood dripped onto the ground. Slow footsteps echoed through the forest. One, then another. Then several more figures dressed in black cloaks emerged from the shadows. Each of them wore a silver mask. The leader looked at the white wolf. There you are. His cold voice echoed through the clearing. We've been searching for you. Kael stepped in front of the injured wolf. Who are you people? The leader ignored him. Instead, he calmly said, Boy, move aside. That beast doesn't belong to this world. Kael looked back at the white wolf. It stood silently behind him. Its eyes were filled with hostility toward the masked strangers. Kael turned back, then smiled. No, leader narrowed his eyes. No, Kael rested his sword on his shoulder. I don't know who she is. I don't know why you're after her. But he pointed his sword toward the masked warriors. If you want to take her, you'll have to get through me first. Forest fell silent. The mysterious man slowly closed his eyes. Interesting. Far away, hidden beyond the dimensional barrier, a mysterious woman watched everything through a mirror of light. A faint smile appeared on her lips. So, you really chose him. Chapter 10. Hunters of the Moon Wolf. A cold wind swept through the forest. The masked warriors stood in complete silence. Their killing intent filled the air. Kael stepped forward, placing himself between the white wolf and the strangers. His grip on his sword tightened. Ask one last time. Are you? The leader slowly drew a black sword. You don't need to know. We're ordered to capture the moon wolf. Live, Kael frowned. Moon wolf. He glanced at the white wolf behind him. The wolf remained silent, its blue eyes locked onto the masked warriors. So that's who you are. The leader raised his sword. Boy, you have 10 seconds. Move aside. Kael smiled. Only need one answer. Sent you. The leader remained silent. Then, Kael slowly pointed his sword forward. Guess we're done talking. Without another word, the masked warriors attacked. Whoosh, 5 of them disappeared at the same time. Kael's pupils contracted. They're fast. He barely blocked the first attack. Clang, a second sword came from behind. Kael twisted his body. The blade missed him by centimeters. Another enemy kicked him in the ribs. Boom, Kael crashed into a tree. He coughed. They're much stronger than the monsters. The mysterious man watched quietly. He didn't interfere. This is his battle. Kael stood up. Blood trickled from the corner of his mouth. One masked warrior laughed. So weak. Yet you're protecting a beast. Kael wiped the blood away. Yeah. I am, warrior sneered. Why? Kael looked at the white wolf, then back at them. Because she trusted me. Silence, even the mysterious man was slightly surprised. The white wolf lowered its head. Something inside her heart trembled. No one had ever protected her without asking for anything in return. The leader sighed. What a foolish human. He raised his hand. Kill him. All the masked warriors attacked together. Kael took a deep breath. I can't win like this. Think, Kael. His eyes scanned the battlefield. The terrain, the trees, the enemy's movements then. He smiled. Got it. Instead of charging, Kael ran deeper into the forest. The masked warriors chased him immediately. Let him escape. Kael jumped between the trees. One warrior got ahead of him. Kael suddenly stopped. He kicked a huge tree trunk. The already damaged tree collapsed. Crash! It blocked the path behind them. Another warrior leaped over it. Kael smiled. Exactly what I wanted. He spun. Slash! The warrior's weapon flew into the air. Before the man could react, Kael punched him in the stomach. Boom! The masked warrior crashed into another tree. The remaining enemies finally realized something. He's separating us. The leader narrowed his eyes. Interesting. Isn't stronger than us. He's using the battlefield. Back near the clearing, two masked warriors had stayed behind to guard the white wolf. The wolf slowly stood up, although still injured. Her eyes were no longer weak. One warrior laughed. What? You think you can fight? The wolf's silver fur suddenly began glowing under the moonlight. The mysterious man quietly watched. So, your bloodline is awakening. The warriors looked confused. What is this? The wolf let out a majestic howl. Awoo! Moonlight poured down from the sky. The surrounding forest seemed to respond. For a brief moment, the wolf's wounds healed even faster. Its aura rose dramatically. Meanwhile, Kael defeated another masked warrior using nothing but timing and skill. He breathed heavily. Only 3 enemies remained then. A beautiful howl echoed across the forest. Kael looked toward the sky. That voice, he smiled. So you're fighting too. Leader finally stepped forward. So you've defeated my subordinates. Bad. He removed his silver mask. A scar crossed his left eye. His aura exploded. A deep crimson energy surrounded him. Kael immediately felt the difference. This guy, he's on a completely different level. Leader pointed his sword at Kael. I am Commander Verk. I'll end your journey here. Forest became silent. Kael slowly raised his sword. A faint black aura began gathering around him. 2 warriors, 2 completely different powers. Their eyes met. The real battle was about to begin. Chapter 11. Black aura versus crimson aura. The forest fell silent. Leaves drifted through the air as Kael and Commander Verk stood facing each other. Neither of them moved. Neither of them blinked. The pressure between them grew heavier with every passing second. Kael tightened his grip on his sword. He's stronger than anyone I've ever fought. Across from him, Verk smiled coldly. For someone who hasn't even entered the aura realm, you've done surprisingly well. Kael raised an eyebrow. Aura realm, Verk laughed. So you don't even know the cultivation stages. How pitiful. Without warning, boom, Verk disappeared. Kael instinctively raised his sword. Clang, a deafening impact echoed through the forest. The force threw Kael backward, carving 2 long trenches into the ground. His hands trembled, so fast. Before he could regain his balance, Verk appeared behind him. Too late. Bang, a kick struck Kael's back. He crashed through 3 trees before finally stopping. Blood trickled from the corner of his mouth. Verk calmly walked forward. This is the difference between talent. Experience. Kael slowly stood up. His breathing had become heavier. His body ached from head to toe, but his eyes remained calm. He smiled. So, you're saying I still have room to improve? Verk frowned. Smiling, Kael rested his sword on his shoulder. If I panic now, definitely lose, so I might as well enjoy the fight. The first time, Verk's expression became serious. Meanwhile, near the clearing, the white wolf stood protectively in front of the mysterious old man. The remaining masked warriors hesitated. Commander Verk doesn't need our help. Let's capture the beast. The moment they stepped forward, the white wolf growled. A silver aura surrounded her body. Moonlight poured onto her fur. The air became colder. One warrior whispered, What kind of beast is this? The old man smiled faintly. She's finally remembering. Back on the battlefield, Kael closed his eyes. He slowed his breathing. He ignored the pain. The sounds of the forest faded, the wind, the leaves, even Verk's footsteps. Everything became clear. He could feel the flow of energy around him. Verk charged again, this time. Kael moved before Verk attacked. Clang, their swords collided. Verk's eyes widened. He predicted my attack. Kael didn't answer. He simply attacked again. 1 slash, 2 slashes, 3. Although Verk blocked every strike, he was slowly being pushed back. His swordsmanship. It's improving during the battle. Verk suddenly smiled. Interesting. You're one of those monsters. He released more crimson aura. The ground cracked beneath his feet. His power doubled. Kael immediately felt overwhelming pressure. His knees shook. This pressure. I can't breathe. Verk raised his sword. Die. A massive crimson blade of energy shot toward Kael. There was no escape, no place to hide. Kael looked at the attack then. He remembered the little girl he had saved, the villagers, the white wolf. If I fall here, they'll all die. The first time, Kael didn't ask the black aura for help instead. He stepped forward. Protect them. Dark black aura erupted, not violently, not wildly this time. It flowed around Kael like calm water. The crimson energy blade struck. But the moment it touched the black aura, it began to disappear as if it had never existed. Verk's eyes widened. What? My attack. Vanished? The mysterious old man looked shocked. So that's one of the Origin Aura's abilities. It doesn't overpower. It erases. Kael opened his eyes. They had become completely black, not evil, just endless calm. He looked at Verk. I think. It's my turn. He took one step, then vanished. Verk instinctively swung his sword, but he hit nothing. A calm voice came from behind him. You rely too much on your aura. Clean cut appeared across Verk's armor. He stumbled forward. Before he could react, Kael struck again and again and again. Every attack landed perfectly. Verk couldn't understand it. How? How can someone improve this much in a single battle? Far above the forest, hidden behind the clouds, three mysterious figures silently watched. One of them spoke. He awakened. Another nodded. No, adapted. Oldest among them looked at Kael with deep interest. Child, become the greatest variable this universe has seen. Back on the battlefield, Verk dropped to one knee. His armor was shattered. His crimson aura flickered. He looked up at Kael for the first time. Fear appeared in his eyes. Kael slowly lowered his sword. I don't want to kill you. Me who sent you. Verk remained silent then. He smiled. You have no idea what you've just stepped into. Suddenly, a strange black symbol on Verk's neck began glowing. The mysterious old man's expression changed instantly. Kael, move away from him. Chapter 12. The mark of silence. The mysterious old man's warning echoed through the forest. Kael, move away from him. Kael's instincts reacted immediately. Without hesitation, he jumped backward. At that exact moment, boom! A massive black explosion engulfed Commander Verk. The shockwave tore through the forest, uprooting dozens of ancient trees. Dust and smoke filled the battlefield. Kael crossed his arms in front of his face as the powerful wind pushed him backward. What was that? When the smoke finally cleared, Verk was still standing, but something had changed. His crimson aura had completely disappeared instead. A strange black mist surrounded his body. His eyes had turned completely empty, no emotion, no fear, no pain. The mysterious man clenched his fists, the mark of silence. Kael looked confused. What is that? The old man answered without taking his eyes off Verk. A forbidden seal. If someone carrying this mark is about to reveal important secrets, the seal activates. It destroys both the body and the soul. Verk slowly lifted his head. His lips trembled. I. His body began breaking apart like shattered glass. Blood trickled from his mouth. Kael stepped forward. Wait. Who sent you? Verk forced a painful smile. Before he could finish, crack, his entire body turned into black particles within seconds. Nothing remained, even his soul had vanished. Silence filled the forest. Kael stared at the empty ground. So, died just for trying to speak. The mysterious man nodded. People behind this. Far more dangerous than you imagine. Kael slowly closed his fist. Someone erased him to protect their secret. Just how powerful are they? The remaining masked warriors saw Verk disappear. Fear filled their faces. Commander, he's gone. We have to retreat. Without another word. They fled into the darkness. Kael didn't chase them. His mind was still focused on Verk's final expression. The white wolf quietly walked toward Kael. She gently nudged his arm. Kael looked down and smiled faintly. I know. I'm fine. The wolf sat beside him for some reason. Her presence made him feel calm. The mysterious old man noticed this. Moon Wolf only trusts one master in its lifetime. It seems destiny has already chosen. As dawn approached, the three of them returned to Etherian village. The villagers welcomed Kael as a hero. Kael saved us. He defeated those monsters. Even those strange warriors couldn't stop him. Children gathered around him with sparkling eyes. Kael scratched his head awkwardly. I didn't do it alone. He looked toward the white wolf. She helped too. Villagers looked nervous. A monster? Kael shook his head. No, she's my friend. White Wolf calmly sat beside him as if she understood every word. After seeing her peaceful behavior, the villagers slowly relaxed. One little boy carefully walked forward. The wolf lowered her head. The boy gently touched her soft silver fur. She's warm. Soon the other children smiled as well. That evening, the village chief approached Kael. Protected this village twice now. Owe you more than we can repay. Kael smiled. Only did what anyone should do. The old chief laughed. No. People would have run away. You stayed, high above the world. Inside a magnificent floating palace, a woman wearing silver armor stood before a giant mirror. She watched Kael's every action. A knight knelt behind her. "Your Majesty, should we send someone?" The woman remained silent. After a long pause, she spoke. "No, yet. If the reports are true, possesses the origin aura." Her beautiful silver eyes narrowed. "And if that's the case, many powerful forces will soon start hunting him." Meanwhile, in a realm swallowed by endless darkness, a lone figure sat upon a colossal black throne. The atmosphere around him was so oppressive that even space itself seemed to tremble. His face remained hidden beneath the shadows. One servant knelt before him. "My lord, the boy has survived." Figure slowly opened his eyes. For a brief moment, the darkness across the realm rippled. "So, he defeated Verk." A faint smile appeared on his lips. "Interesting. Him grow, the stronger he becomes. The more entertaining this game will be." Servant lowered his head. "As you command." The dark throne room fell silent once more, and somewhere, far beyond Kael's knowledge, the gears of fate had begun turning. Chapter 13. The invitation to Etherian Academy. The peaceful morning returned to Etherian Village. The destroyed houses were being rebuilt. People smiled again. Children ran through the streets as if nothing had happened. But for Kael, nothing was the same anymore. He stood outside his home, quietly staring at the sky. World is much bigger than I imagined. If people like Verk are only the beginning, then how strong are the ones controlling him? His grip around his sword tightened. I need to become stronger. Few hours later, a loud horn echoed across the village. Everyone turned toward the entrance. 3 magnificent flying beasts descended from the sky. Each beast carried warriors wearing silver armor decorated with the emblem of Etherian Academy. Villagers gasped. "It's the Royal Academy. What are they doing here?" "They never visit small villages." The leader stepped forward. He was a tall man with short golden hair and calm blue eyes. His name was Instructor Orion Vale. He scanned the crowd. "Who among you is Kael Draven?" Kael stepped forward. "Kael." Orion looked at him carefully. "So, you're the boy who defeated a void fang beast." Kael remained silent. Orion smiled. "Been officially invited to enroll in Etherian Academy." Entire village froze. "He failed the aura awakening." "How can that be?" Even Kael looked surprised. "You want me to join?" Orion nodded. "Talent isn't measured by ceremonies. It's measured on the battlefield." Village chief laughed proudly. "I knew this day would come." The children cheered around Kael. "Brother Kael is going to the Royal Academy." The white wolf quietly sat beside him, watching everything. Orion's gaze shifted toward her. His expression changed for a brief moment. "A moon wolf. Interesting." But he said nothing. Later that afternoon, Kael packed his few belongings, a simple set of clothes, his sword, the mysterious diary, nothing more. He looked around his small house. "I guess it's time to leave." Just then, the mysterious old man appeared outside the door. "So, you're finally taking your first step." Kael smiled. "You already knew." The old man chuckled. "No more than you think." He handed Kael a small black ring. "This is a spatial storage ring." Kael looked surprised. "A storage artifact?" The old man nodded. "It can store weapons, supplies, and treasures." "Don't show it to anyone." Kael carefully wore the ring. "Thank you." Before leaving, Kael looked at the white wolf. "What about you?" The wolf stood up without hesitation. She walked to his side. Kael laughed. "So you're coming with me?" The wolf wagged her tail once. The mysterious old man smiled. "It seems you've gained your first true companion." Kael gently patted her head. "Then let's travel together." As Kael prepared to board the flying beast, Instructor Orion suddenly spoke. "One question." Kael turned around. "Why did you risk your life for a beast?" Everyone became silent. Kael looked at the white wolf, then answered calmly, "Because when everyone else saw a monster, I saw someone asking for help." Orion stared at him for several seconds, then he smiled. "Answer." The flying beast slowly rose into the sky. Kael looked down at the village that had been his home for 16 years. "Come back. Next time. Be much stronger." Villagers waved until he disappeared into the clouds. Hours later, beyond countless mountains, a breathtaking city appeared. Gigantic floating islands surrounded a massive castle. Thousands of students trained in the air. Powerful aura illuminated the heavens. Kael's eyes widened. "So, this is Etherian Academy." Little did he know. Within these walls, he would meet allies, rivals, enemies, and the woman who would one day shake his heart, the proud Ice Empress, Luna Frostvale. Chapter 14. The Academy of Geniuses. The massive flying beast slowly descended toward the entrance of Etherian Academy. Kael stood silently on its back. Beside him, the white wolf calmly observed the breathtaking scenery. Countless floating islands surrounded the academy. Gigantic waterfalls flowed upward into the sky. Thousands of students trained with different colored auras: golden, crimson, blue, emerald. The atmosphere itself was overflowing with power. Kael couldn't help but smile. So this is the place where the strongest young warriors gather. Instructor Orion nodded. Welcome to Etherian Academy. Moment Kael stepped through the academy gates, he felt an invisible pressure. Runes carved into the walls began glowing faintly. One of the academy elders suddenly frowned. He turned toward the entrance. Formation reacted. Another elder looked surprised. Did a special bloodline enter? The first elder closed his eyes, sensing the energy, but before he could find its source, the reaction disappeared. Strange, meanwhile. Students walking through the academy noticed Kael. Who's the new guy? He doesn't look like he's from a noble family. At his clothes. Then someone noticed the white wolf. Wait, that a moon wolf? No way. How did a first-year student tame one? Whispers quickly spread through the academy. Kael ignored them. He had already gotten used to people starring. Instructor Orion led Kael toward the registration hall. The building was enormous. Inside were hundreds of new students. Some proudly displayed their noble family emblems. Others radiated powerful aura. A loud voice echoed across the hall. Silence. An elderly woman stepped onto the stage. She wore a long crimson robe. My name is Head Instructor Seraphina. From today onward, you are students of Etherian Academy. She swept her gaze across the crowd. Only 1 out of every 100 students graduates from this academy. The weak will be eliminated. The lazy will be left behind. Only the strongest will stand at the top. Hall became completely silent. Seraphina continued. Tomorrow, you will participate in the entrance combat examination. The results will determine your class ranking. Rankings decide everything. Resources, teachers, training grounds, privileges. A murmur spread through the crowd. Everyone knew how important rankings were. After the announcement ended, the students began introducing themselves. A tall young man wearing luxurious golden armor stepped forward. He smiled proudly. I'm Leon Ashbourne, heir of House Ashbourne. Aura is golden flame. I hope the rest of you can entertain me. Several students immediately applauded. What incredible confidence. Deserves it. Ashbourne clan is famous. Leon smiled arrogantly. His eyes eventually landed on Kael. He looked him up and down, then laughed. You, boy with the wolf. Which noble family do you belong to? Kael calmly replied. I don't belong to any. Leon blinked. You're a commoner, Kael nodded. Yes. Hall became unusually quiet. Leon burst into laughter. A commoner entered Etherian Academy. This year's standards have really fallen. Several noble students laughed with him. Kael simply looked at Leon. Are you done? Leon stopped laughing. What? Kael shrugged. Been talking for a while. I thought you had something important to say. Some students covered their mouths, trying not to laugh. Leon's smile disappeared. Got quite the mouth. Kael calmly answered. And you've got quite the ego. Instructor Orion had to hide a smile just then. The large academy doors slowly opened. A freezing wind swept across the hall. The temperature instantly dropped. Everyone turned toward the entrance. A young woman walked inside. She had long silver hair that reached her waist, crystal blue eyes, an expression so cold that no one dared approach her. She wore the academy uniform with effortless elegance. Behind her, tiny snowflakes floated in the air. Students immediately whispered. She arrived. The Ice Princess? No, the future Ice Empress. Luna Frostville. She walked past everyone without looking at anyone then, for just a brief second. Her eyes met Kael's. She looked at the white wolf beside him. A faint trace of surprise appeared in her eyes, but it disappeared instantly. She continued walking as if nothing had happened. Kael scratched his head. She looks difficult to talk to. White Wolf let out a soft huff, almost as if agreeing, high above the academy. Inside the headmaster's tower, an old man stood before a giant window. He had watched everything from the moment Kael entered. So, the child has finally arrived. He smiled faintly. Let's see whether destiny truly chose you.